I'll be trying to trade Forex in the simplest way possible within the next few hours now. First, we'll analyze the chart right now together. Second, after analyzing the chart, we'll storm into our trades. I will also share it with other traders so that everyone can storm into the trades together. And everything will be happening live here right now. We'll be using a leverage of 1 to 500 today, and then we'll be trading on our XAUSD, also known as gold. And the time frame we'll be using today will be our 15 minutes time frame. Only just our 15 minutes time frame. Alright, okay guys, so this is what we're having now. Just a reminder, the leverage I will be using will be our 1 to 500, a very low leverage today. And then the link to the breakout, of course, is already in the description box that we'll be using. And then we'll be trading on a 1.5k currently, just like that. So now, what do we notice happen on this chart? Very simple, very straightforward. Now, the very first thing we can see is that the chart was dropping towards the bottom on a retracement, right? That's the very first thing. It's actually visible. You can literally see that the chart is dropping on the retracement. Now, we know it's a retracement dropping towards the bottom because gold has been on a massive uptrend. It's not even something to argue about. It has been pushing towards the top, right? Good. Now, after dropping towards the bottom, what did we notice second? We noticed that the chart actually hit a zone. And then what happened here was that it gave us a massive rejection again, right? And then it was a double rejection telling us that, boom, a massive reversal is about to occur, right? You can see the first, you can see the second. And then this second rejection was also creating a bullish hammer, right? You can literally see that. So because of that, what did we notice? We noticed that this chart started pushing towards the top around this region. Okay, good. Now we have two principles set up, right? Now the third stuff that we are looking at was that the market opened on a Monday, which was just yesterday, right? And so what happened? A massive gap was created. And then what's the rule of a gap getting created? The gap has to be closed for the market to continue its major direction, right? What's the major direction of the chart? Towards the top, right? On an uptrend. So what are we expecting? The chart has to close this gap, after which it has to continue its uptrend by our principles. So what do we look at? We look at the chart push towards the top around the zone. After that, what did you notice? The chart started dropping back down again around this region. And so it tried the first time to close a gap so that it can continue pushing towards the top. It couldn't. So it got rejected. And so it tried again the second time. And so what happened this second time? We noticed that the chart tried covering the gap, but it couldn't completely cover the gap. It got rejected again, and then it started pushing towards the top because it closed with a bearish hammer, right? Closed with a bearish hammer and started pushing back towards the top around that region here. So what did we notice happen? Boom, it got rejected here. Why? There are not a lot of buyers in the trade because the gap is not fully created. It has to try for the third time again. And you know what happens on third touches? If we map out a chart now from around that region here, just around that region here, what do we notice? We notice that it's already started a mission for the third touch. So what did we notice how occurred? Boom, drop down below our region here. Because remember, first trial, second trial, and now it wants to try for the third time. The only way it can do that is if it breaks this subtrend around the region here, right? It kept dropping towards the bottom. And now if we try mapping out a trend line for that, this is what will be happening, right? We'll come back to that now. But what did you notice? It kept dropping towards the bottom like this, and boom, it dropped below again, and then it gave us a third touch this time around. Boom. So that now we're having a first. Second, we're having the second touch here, and now the third, we're having a third touch around this region. But was it able to cover the gap completely? It couldn't. Now, if it did cover the gap, all I simply need to do is to just fold my hand, wait for the market to give me a bullish engulfing candlestick, or let's say a morning star. After that, I can zoom into the trade without any issues at all. Even just a bearish hammer, I can easily zoom into the trade from here. The only way we can storm into a trade now is if we notice that the chart has pushed above our resistance level, telling us that I'm not covering that gap currently. I'm going to cover it within the next 7 to 14 days because that's usually how it is. If it crosses the first, it couldn't. It tries the second time, it can't. It tries the third time, it can. That third touch is going to push the chart out of that level, and then the next time you get to a random region to cover it will be between 7 to 14 days. So because of that, what can I do? I can easily zoom into this trade now, right? Because this is now very easy. The chart pushed above. What happened? Drop back down for a standard retest. And so what can we do now around the zone? We can easily stop into this trade, right? but I wouldn't want to storm in yet. I would just want to wait for my chart to create a fourth candlestick just around my rejection level, just around this spot here. After that, we can easily just start cashing out from the market. Boom, a new candlestick has just been created. Now, by the way, just before we even continue this video, I already dropped this trade in a private channel, right? So those in a private channel, they've all stormed into this trade now, right? As we're speaking now. And then after a few minutes, let's say first or second take profit has been hit, we'll also share it in a free channel that every single person can also cash out from the market just like that. I'm actually having a capital of about 1.5k, right? So okay, let me just try one lot size first because I'm using a low leverage today of 1 to 500. I'm using just 1 to 500, kind of like a standard leverage. That's one lot size. Okay, let me just go into another trade again. Okay, let's see. Am I not allowed to go into? Okay, so I have 2 trades running now. I still have enough free margin. Well, I have a free margin of just like $200. A free margin of like $200, so it's okay. I don't want to risk more than that. Okay, usually I want to go into maybe like 4 or 5 trades or so usually, but it's okay. So we're having 1 lot size on 2 positions. That's okay. That's like 2 lot sizes that we're having there, right? So we just leave it like that for the meantime. I don't know, we might stock into some trades later on again, or we might not. But then this is the level that we are looking at, right? To stock into for a stop loss, right? This is the level we're looking at for a stop loss, just around this level, right? Now we're looking at around this level in case of any possible retracement, right? In case it retraces back around this region, we'll still be in our trade, as it won't take us out, and from there we can start locking in our profits and just keep locking our profits and maybe even stock into some more positions just like that. So we're actually running about $2,200, right? Which is actually very smooth. By the way, a first take profit has been hit already on a private channel, and then I also share this trade in a free channel, by the way. So if you're not part of our free channel, the link is actually down below there. I actually share this trade. It made us hit our first take profit. So if you check in the description box now and hit on that free channel link there, you should actually find this trade right now. You should find it there now, so that guys have actually stopped into this trade. So everyone is actually in this trade now. All we just simply need to wait for now is for our second and a third take profit to be hit, and from there we might consider stocking into some more positions, because I want to see if we can hit at least way over $10,000 from this trade, at least way over $10,000. The charts just started creating a crazy build up around this zone, after which it took off from the spot. And then it makes sense because we're having another resistance level just around our region here, right? Just around our region here. So it only makes sense, the reason for our build up there. So what did you notice? It pushed up above the build up and then it came back to give kind of like a retest around the zone. And I would love to storm into maybe some trades. Okay, maybe not some trade, maybe just one trade, right? I would just want to stock into one more trade, also I can maximize my profits, because I want to hit not less than $10,000 on this trade because of my margin. My margin is like 1 to 500, so I don't want to have anything less than a 10k from this trade. So let me just add one more trade, right? One more trade. Now we are still on a perfect safe zone because we are running over $3,000 of profit. So all I'm risking now is just maybe like $1,000 from profit, and that's just it, right? We are running just over $11,000 of profit, right? Which is actually very nice. But this was about to go south, by the way. This was about to go south because look, went into one more trade here, just around that spot here, right? You can literally see that. Now immediately after storming into this trade, what occurred is that we went into some profit for just a moment. After that, it started crashing back towards the bottom. And then if this candlestick had closed just below this, that would have been it. Would have rushed out of this trade as fast as possible. But then it got rejected and then created a morning star and started pushing back towards the top. As you can see, the volatility of the market currently is very, very impressive. Like the market is literally just taking off. Of course, our first take profit has been hit, a second and also a third take profit. Everything, they've already been hit. And of course, the trades were shared first in a private channel, and after a few minutes, it was also shared in our free channel so that every person can cash out. And if you rush down to our free channel now, you should see this trade, this very trade right now. You should see this trade right now there, right? So the market is moving very, very smoothly currently. So we're running over $11,000. It's even more than my expected amount. really more than that, even so more than that. So what we can do now is we can easily zoom off this trade because I was just targeting roughly $10,000. Remember guys, we always work with a target. We don't want to be very greedy in the market, things like that, right? So we already hit a target. So what we can easily do now is we can easily just zoom off the market, right? You can literally see what almost occurred here. After that, boom, a morning star, and boom, just started flying, pushing towards the top like that. Let's just quickly shut down all of our trades now. Let's just zoom up this trade. Boom. Now we're having just about $13,000, right? So that's what we're having here. Remember, our starting capital was $1,500, and now we're running about 13.2K, right? Which is actually very, very smooth. So we're able to cash out roughly about 11.6K or so, just over $11,000. That's what we're able to cash out from the market, right? So that guys, this is actually very, very clean. This is actually very, very clean. Now we just zoomed off this trade on a minor account, which is $1,500. On our main account and those on our private channel and the rest, I literally told everyone to keep locking in on this trade, right? Because this trade just started. We should still be expecting some massive movement in the market. Of course, some retracement is possible, right? So for the sake of this video, I just had to shut down this trade. But on our main account, we are still storming into this trade onto massive profit, right? We're not leaving this trade anytime soon, right? We're holding this trade through to the next day, right? Just stuck into some more positions, So for the sake of this video, we just have to shut down our trade so that you can understand every single principle we're using here. And if you check the link in the description box now, that's our free channel. If you hit on that link, you should be able to see this trade right there as we are speaking right now. Now, just remember, for every single video that can hit over 1,000 likes, I'll be coming back to that very video, running through the comment section, and I'll be selecting 3 random traders that I'll be funding $3,000 each, just like that. So that if you're new to this YouTube channel, just remember to hit on subscribe button, hit on like button, and also remember to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any videos I'll be dropping out from this place. So bye from you guys. I'm Mr. P. Peace.